a tough time to be a student, a teacher, or a parent in the Philadelphia public schools.
Few were sure Philadelphia's school year would begin on time.
Considered one of the most dangerous schools in America, switchblades and fistfights.
Morning begins at Strawberry Mansion High School with a prayer.
It's no secret that Philadelphia public schools are ailing. In 2014, just 14% of public school fourth graders were proficient in reading, compared to 34% nationally. Every year, nearly 1 out of 10 high school students drop out of Philadelphia's schools, and in 2014, graduation rates hit a high of 65%. This figure is projected to fall to just 22% due to new standardized tests.
The number of students fleeing Philadelphia's troubled neighborhood schools has almost tripled in the past decade. This year, 70,000 students are choosing charter schools instead.
However, charter schools complicate the situation in Philadelphia considerably. While for the most part they provide a generally better education, spots are limited, and money is removed from public schools without reimbursement to fund them.
In the case of charter schools, public money it funds those schools, but the schools are run by independent boards. So in a sense, there's been a sort of privatization of the governance of the school, although the funding of the school is public. These are public schools.
Additionally, while there are 200,000 students in public-funded Philadelphia schools, only 32% attend charter schools. For attendance, parents must enter their students into a lottery.
So the choice of a middle school and especially a high school is a very complicated one for parents, even if they're staying in the regular school district. But in the case of charters, you do have to make sure you have to go through the process of getting your child in the lottery and also doing research on which schools you want to list as your preferred schools in the lottery.
This divide leaves many students trapped in failing schools with little or no chance of improvement. There must be some option for students who could achieve greatness if given the proper environment.
We're in a part of Philadelphia that I would say is underserved, under-resourced. An area where in Philadelphia public schools, we have 3 failing schools, public schools. I think it's necessary that St. James here because of the need for better education, just point blank.
Allegheny West is one of the most under-resourced neighborhoods in Philadelphia, where schools have been failing for generations. In 2011, a group of educators and local parishioners came together with the community to form a new school, one that operated independently from the Philadelphia School District.
We were kind of the second generation of schools in our network, so one thing that made us think that this could be possible in Philadelphia is because it's been possible in Boston, it's been possible in Chicago, it's been possible in Tucson, and New York City. So when you look at all of those places and you compare, the demographics and the statistics that happen in Philadelphia and specifically North Philadelphia, why not here?
The goal is simple: provide quality education at no cost to families.
If you look at the business model of a school, so if you're public, you get funding from the government. If you're a private school, you rely on tuition and you rely on alumni giving. But we have neither, or an endowment. So we have neither of those 3. We don't have an endowment, we don't have tuition, and we don't have alumni that are giving at a level that would support the school. And for most people, they would look at that and say, that's a really bad business model. It's really stinks. It's an awful business model. We look at it the complete opposite. So the mission is so strong here that people want it to be affordable for families. So we recruit donors at all levels, from my grandmother that donates $5 a month to people that can support a full scholarship, which is $30,000 a year.
St. James students are given rigorous courses aimed at bringing them up to and past grade level proficiency. To ensure the success of their students, St. James offers an 11-month school year with extended school days.
The extended day helps in that it really helps the students understand their education is their job. It also gives the students a safe and secure place to do all of their homework and extracurricular activities. So we're able to guarantee a higher percentage of assignments done because students have a time in a quiet, safe place dedicated to do that. Extended year is extremely beneficial because we do not see the summer slide that a lot of schools with the shorter year see, and we're also able to expose our kids to a lot of different experiences during the extended year. So a normal school might not be able to do 300 field trips a year. At St. James School, we're able to fit that in because our year goes longer.
With such a rigorous curriculum and only 60 children attending, St. James takes advantage of its independence to recruit students most in need.
So at St. James School, we have a unique way of recruiting students and families. So typically an independent school with tuition $20,000, $30,000 a year, which is our cost, would recruit through open houses and through testing, through family meetings and so on. Well, we do the complete opposite. We go door to door. And we knock on families' doors. We set up a water ice stand to connect with neighbors, and we're purposely recruiting students that need us the most, need the school and the resources the most. So students that are most likely to drop out of school, students that are in overcrowded schools, students that are maybe have been bullied at their schools, students that are maybe they're at or above grade level but aren't being challenged in their neighborhood schools. So the most likely candidates for a St. James School position or spot here at the school is a student that isn't necessarily looking for us.
The result of this kind of selection is smaller class sizes and a more intimate classroom setting. When asked what they thought was better about St. James, most students point to the class sizes as change agents in their education compared to public schools.
The teachers did not have control of the students. There were at least 34 students in one class with one teacher, and the teacher would walk out the class one day and leave for 10 minutes, then come back, and she would be all mad. She or he would be mad because the class is a disaster. It's better because the teachers, they care about us, and if one teacher has to leave out the classroom for a meter or something, the other teacher can fill in and help us what we need help on. And when the teachers help me, I get focused.
It's not just one teacher in the classroom that can help. It's 2 or 3, and they all help out.
All right. At my old school, we had 36 kids in a class. Here we only got 17 or 18. So that means that I learn better because it's less students in my class now.
In addition to smaller classes, St. James breaks from tradition with its healthy lunch program. Unhealthy cafeteria food is swapped out for healthy meals freshly prepared by an on-site chef.
I describe my experience at public school as not so good. The lunch, it wasn't good. We had frozen pizzas, stuff like that.
So Chef Brooks or Chef Anthony or Mr. Miskey, they go in to cook the food. It takes them 6 hours to prepare for all of us. And we go downstairs to eat our lunch all as a community, go outside to play for recess. And the food is good.
Our whole program is based on home-cooked meals. So it's family-style dining. So the kids come down, they get a freshly made lunch from scratch ingredients. They sit with their peers and some teachers, and they have a fun dining experience as opposed to most schools where they just have a buffet style.
I find it very engaging because you get to learn more about people, more people. Sometimes we have volunteers sit at our table, we get to learn more about them. And in the cafeteria, we could just run around. At public schools, we could just run around, throw the food, do all of that. But here, it's different because you don't really get to know somebody at a cafeteria because it's so loud.
Being in a low-income area like they are, it's really important that they're getting the nutritious food that they need so that they can grow up and develop.
Healthy lunches give the kids the energy they need to make it through the rest of the school day while avoiding sugar crashes. Every aspect of St. James, even lunch, is tailored to enhance academics and community. But the experience at St. James goes beyond students' time at the school. Through its graduate support program, St. James provides various forms of assistance to graduated students.
So, graduate support at St. James School is a two-person team. Ms. Solnit and I work with families leading up to 8th grade, helping them decide on the best school for them and their student.
And especially in a big city like Philadelphia, you have every type of high school you can imagine, and we use our relationships with students and families to figure out what is going to be the best school for that family and that student. And then once they're in that school, we provide graduate support all the way through college and beyond.
I was struggling a little bit freshman year, so I came here every day after school basically to get my algebra grade up and my theology grade, and they just help you push yourself harder even if you don't have the motivation at the high school that you are attending. So if you come here, they'll believe in you and they'll tell you that you can do this, because sometimes in a high school where there's more kids, they just don't worry about you. So when you come to St. James, they're just focused on you and they help motivate you to do better.
So we have a graduate who is in 10th grade right now at LaSalle College High School Preparatory School, one of the best schools in Philadelphia. He's on full scholarship, and he joined us when he was in 5th grade. After his 4th year, he was able to graduate valedictorian. In addition to having fantastic grades and having a great scholarship to a high school, we also helped him with his family. We worked with his parents to make sure they had everything they need. Then, when he was a 9th grader, we drove him to high school every day to make sure he could get there, because the SEPTA routes do not make it easy for him to attend that school. So he was a great example of, he was just a 10-year-old that walked up to the school and didn't know what he was getting himself into. And now he's a really big part of our family, and we're a really big part of his family too.
Well, recently I had to write a project about 3 cases for my government class, and Ms. Sonia, she actually helped me because I was having a lot of trouble, and I was typing on the computer and it accidentally deleted it. I don't know how. So Ms. Sonia, she had came and helped me find some more information that I can put into the project.
So every family who graduates from St. James School receives a small scholarship. On the small end, it could be anywhere from $20 or $30 a month, all the way up to helping families fill the gap with tuition. Ms. Solnit does a great job walking through each family through that process and making sure, they can afford whatever school they want to go to. And then we try to fill in gaps as much as we can with tuition.
The relationships I have with my children's grandparents, with their younger siblings, and with my students themselves, it doesn't end when they graduate. They know they have somewhere to go back to, they feel trusted and loved, and it makes it more like a family. And if students are going to be succeeding in other schools, they need to feel loved, accepted, and like they can do it. And so that relationship piece, it feeds right into it.
That is an enormously helpful process, that a kind of service that these students are getting, because the high school they go to is really a make or break affair. It's incredibly important which high school they go to.
Through stellar graduate support, extended school days and years, and rigorous coursework, St. James is able to propel their students into top high schools in the area, often at little to no cost to families. However, many of these aspects are unique to St. James. Public schools do not have the resources to provide such an experience.
The state does not provide enough money for public schools. And there are huge inequities between districts in this state. We're one of, I think, the 2 states with the greatest inequities between districts.
St. James can't be replicated anywhere, and it's because of the size. You can't have a whole bunch of schools all around the city of Philadelphia that only have 60 kids.
Despite this, lessons can be learned from St. James.
I think the graduate support model would definitely help public schools, especially in big districts like Philadelphia, where there's not a specific high school that kids can go to. And while the public middle schools do have graduate support, it might be one counselor for 600-700 kids. So that's not a model that's really helping anybody.
I would say in many aspects, the things that we do here at St. James, I think you can easily carry over to any public schools. For one, our teaching style. Just knowing that kids come to school either in the morning tired or hungry, and being patient. And you have to be patient in the classroom and patient with your audience, which are your students.
What you can have is smaller classrooms, which makes it easier for the teachers. And when the teachers are able to do their job more effectively, the students get to have a better experience too. Smaller class sizes increase relationships between the teacher and the student, and also between the students. So if we could possibly have classes really capped at 20 kids around the city, I think we would see a lot more success coming from our schools and a lot more happy children leaving them as well.
Education is a tricky subject in Philadelphia. It's tempting to say that there is no hope. Not enough money, appalling dropout rates, and a system resistant to change. But if there is one thing that St. James proves, it's that the dedication of just a few individuals can revolutionize an entire neighborhood. In just 6 years, St. James has transformed from an idea to a successful school of 60 students and counting. They have proven that by harnessing the power of compassion, of community, they can truly open doors to the future. Can you describe, without any eye rolling, how the kitchen works at St. James?
What you mean how it works?
Describe
They cook and then
it.
they serve us.
Well, it's not.
Then we have a person that serve us and set our table like a waitress. We eat food that is good.
Oh my goodness.
And that is not cold, but is made by a good chef. And then we eat, we say prayer, and we talk like a family.
Is this how you talk to your friends?
We have a meal that's hot.
Okay, so can you describe your favorite meal from the kitchen?
It's good, just tasty.
Okay, that's not a meal. You just said it's good. I want to know the actual food.
Alright, it's rice, and it's white, and it's peas. I learned I could get smarter, but long hair. I am so happy.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Do you feel like St. James is preparing you to go off to high school?
Yes, it is.
Oh.